What's up, everybody? Welcome to the lounge. Just me today. Uh, Wayne's at home sick, so he's getting himself tested for COVID. Let's see how it goes. Let's just let the chat room fill up for a bit. Getting messages. Oh, that's me going live. Yeah. All right. So we got two things. It's going to be a pretty quick one, and I'm guessing I'm going to do a Q&A right after. So TBS socks came in. This is one pair. They ship in a pair of 5. I think they're $12 for a pair of 5. So I don't have to buy socks anymore. That's the one news, and the other news is we got the Source 2 on. It's not really a blowout, but there's gonna be a new revision coming soon. So the current Source 2s are in a discount. I think they sell for $17. Yeah, TBS socks. There we go. Yeah, that's how they look. This I'm just reading. It's hard to do this by yourself. Wayne makes it way easier. Guess he's gonna be watching from home. Five pairs for $12. That's a steal. Yeah, it's a pretty good price. I'm cheap, so I gotta get. They're all cotton. People are asking what size. I don't know. Like my shoe size is. Let me see what my shoe size is. EU 44. UK 9.5. US 10.5. And they fit me just fine. Stayed up for the election results. Switching to this stream for less stress. Oh, dude. I mean, I don't want to get into politics, but holy shit. I didn't really follow last year's election, but now that people are like saying that the elections are rigged, like holy shit. It's kind of worrying. Sounds like you said TBS sucks. TBS sucks. Shoe size sounds kind of small. Isn't that what she said? I'm not saying that this is the maximum size you can go. I'm just saying that they fit me just fine, and I'm guessing you can go a couple of sizes up and a couple of sizes down. Does the CRSF mod do anything for Tracer? Yes, it does. It's the same thing. QX7 mod. But you don't need to do that anymore for any remote controller that has access support. You don't need to do it for TX16. You don't need to do it for any remote controller that has the light bay. Are you feeling okay, Trappy? I'm feeling good. Yeah. I ate McDonald's, and I'm not feeling like my stomach's like having a fucking war right now. It's a fucking civil war going on in my bowels. But other than that, I'm doing fine. Thanks. I think people don't realize the Electoral College doesn't convene till December. I don't do, to be honest, like the whole fucking election system in the US is way too complicated for me. Just count the fucking votes and see who got more, right? But whatever. I guess there's a reason for the Electoral College. I don't know, it's just worrying to me to watch. Tracer will be good with Radio Master. Yes, no issues there. Pro 32 Nano restock soon. I think it's in stock. What about Source 2? We have a new version coming. The Source 2 on the website currently is a V0.1. So they're cheaper now. I think they're like 16, 17 bucks for the frame. The new design is going to be out when the stock of the current one runs out. Martin says, I need my wife to sue my name into these, else my son is going to steal them. Right, or just buy extra for your son. When are the tracers shipping out? Ordered in on the 30th. So tracers are shipping out at this moment. Tracer will be good on FrSky X9D plus SE. Yes. If your Crossfire works in it, your tracer works in it. So yeah, quick recap. TBS socks out on the website right now in stock. Source 2 V0.1, $17. That's pretty much it. If you guys have some other questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to make it a short one today just because Wayne isn't here. And talking by yourself like on end is kind of weird. Where can I find my CRSF serial number? You go into the Lua scripts, and then they're like it's at the bottom. Under about. The chocolate diet is working. Is it? I feel like I lost weight. I don't know. Oh, speaking of discounts for tracers, so the serial number discount thing is only gonna work for this week. After this, we're shutting it down because I don't think we can keep up. So get your orders in quick, or dealers also have stock coming. So like support your local dealers. The discount we have. If you order until end of this week, it's gonna be fine. After this, we're gonna shut it down at least for the time being. So really, no chance of a remote with built-in tracer. A lot of people have been asking us for the Tango 2 with tracer built in. So that's definitely not on the table, just because so many people asked for the multi-protocol module, and then, like, let's be honest, between you and me, I think you either get the multi-protocol module for whoops, or you get the tracers for racing, because you can also, I think there's like this new Red Pine firmware or whatever on the multi-protocol, where you can get like a super low latency with your regular XM Plus. I mean, you're not going to get good range with it, but you know. So it's kind of, yeah, you either get the NPM or the tracer. So the Tango 2 is kind of covered with the multi-protocol add-on. I understand that technically you can use the module bay, but to me that kills the whole cool, nice, small Tango 2. That's what I've been saying all this time, dude. But people were like, fuck you, give me a multi-protocol module. So that's what we did. And that, like, we can't support everybody, right? Like, there's gotta be like a line that you pick in terms of product lineup. Because at the end of the day, like, then we're just gonna have 17 different Tango 2 versions with 30 different module bay add-ons and shit like that. So it's very inconvenient to buy a Crossfire remote just to do just to use the tracer module. Yeah, I get that. I get that. But you can just buy a multi-protocol module remote like the TX16 and then put the tracer in that, or the Crossfire. So if you're just looking for the tracer, I guess the look at the Radio Master TX16S. Currently, that would be my suggestion. But you can also get like if you want to support FrSky, you can get an X9 Lite. It's a pretty decent remote. How about a 900 megahertz dongle for Sims? Nah, man, we got the USB plug-in. I get that, but a PCB with tracer as an extra part. You know how long it takes to design one of these, dude? That's not just like, oh, let's make a fucking extra PCB. CRSF Wi-Fi works with tracer as well, I assume. Yes. Is tracer supported by the current version of Opentx? Yes. Well, same as Crossfire. So you will have CRSF v2 on the tracer, or you can get the nightly build from our website and get the CRSF shot. What I'm saying is you made the best remote in the Tango 2, so I don't feel like there's an alternative. I tend to agree with that. Are you making a Tango with radio tracer built in? No. So many people are asking. No, it's only going to be the Nano TX. TBS external head tracker that interfaces with Crossfire via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Holy shit. I haven't heard a request for a head tracker in like 17 years. I don't think it's very popular. Full-size tracer for Spectrum radios. You can get the TX Lite. It works like the... Crossfire Nano TX. Or Tracer Nano TX. It works with Spectrum just fine. You guys must be absolutely struggling with the tracer orders. No, not really. I mean, it's taking a while, yeah. But, you know, it's first of all, it's a new product, so, you know, the production and everything isn't smooth. Second of all, it's a new product, so at the beginning, like, all the dealers order at the same time, all the customers order at the same time, so yeah. Expect a couple of days, yeah, at least another 10 to 14 days for all the orders to be filled. 2 weeks. I realize it's 2 weeks. Are you making it? Holy shit. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to answer this question one more time, and then everybody like should answer in the chat for me, okay? So no, there's no plans to make a Tango 2 with the tracer built in. You need to get the Tango 2, and you need to get the Nano TX. Any plans to get the 7-inch frame back in stock? I'm guessing you mean the people have spoken. No, the people have spoken on the multi-protocol module. The people just don't know what the fuck they want. 10 pairs of socks and Nano RX ordered, and now I'm broke. Thanks, Trappy. I hope it's not because of the socks. So regarding the 7-inch frame, I'm guessing you're either talking about the Source 1 7-inch, which we still sell, or you're talking about the G2, which it's actually we're doing a revamp of it. TBS G2. It's gonna be the TBS Zorse. That's what we're gonna be calling it. Are you guys 86ing the Source 2? I guess you mean axing? No, we're not axing anything. We're updating it. Where's Wayne? Wayne's at home sick. He's got fever, he's got dry cough, and he's getting himself tested. Nah, it's not from the socks, but I needed new socks anyways. Walmart ones are falling apart. Yeah. Leaks on the new plane you're working on. Oh, Wayne's not here to stop me from leaks, right? But no, we're not going to be talking about the plane today. If I'm close by, is the penetration as good as the penetration of Crossfire? No. 2.4 penetration is never going to be as good as Crossfire penetration. TBS Grinder Batch 2. Okay, so that shit has been blowing up my feed. I'm thinking about it. You guys had a pretty big year. You happy with what you guys have done today? Today? I haven't done anything today, but or not much. Um, to be honest, I don't think we had a pretty big year. I think this year has been pretty scary, man. I can't wait for 2020 to be over. Any plans to update your Series F shot Opentx firmware to 2.3.10? Last update was in August. No, we did update the one that's online, the nightly. Just watch Steel video. He gave good video about what? When's the API for TBS Cloud dropping? Oh man, I can't wait for it. There's some shit in the works. It's just like there's something that doesn't want to work, and that's what we're working on. Are you still on a chocolate diet, Trappy? Looks like you've lost some weight. Yeah, dude, I'm still on the chocolate diet. Actually, I had McDonald's today. So, I don't know if anybody wants to follow my fucking diet plans. We can talk for 2 minutes about that. So, for the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've done like what is called intermittent fasting. So I try to skip either lunch, breakfast, or dinner. One of the three with no fucking plan whatsoever. So just one of the three I skip. And on top of that, I try not to eat carbs. So today I had McDonald's. Obviously the fries are carbs, the fucking bread is carbs, everything is carbs. But like for example, for the last week and a half, I only ate steak, beef steak, chicken steak or whatever you call that. I deep fried it, kind of like to cheat on the diet thing. But so I did that, and I've ordered a fuck loads of avocados, which I mix with egg, and that's my breakfast basically. So try to get away from bread, I try to get away from noodles, and I try to get away from rice. And to be honest, I haven't measured myself for a little bit, but I don't know. Feels like it's working. My butt feels lighter. Yeah. Let me check. There's some questions. Are there full-size pads under the connector of the Evo? Yes, there are. 915 Crossfire's got a BBC. Dude. Who said grinder? We said grinder. Why no screen on Tracer? Because you won't need it. Grinder in 2 weeks. It's not going to be that fast. We got to come up with a new, like a color scheme, right? How's the Tango 2 firmware looking? Apparently there was a bug in the latest causing TX reboot, or was that CRSF? That was in CRSF, and actually it's in Tracer as well. So if you've just received Tracer, or if you've ordered Tracer, be sure to update. Tracer's 5.02 and Crossfire's 4.08. Is there a mailing list for API? No, but there's going to be, like, we're going to have a fucking, what do you call that? Like, developer day? Eventually. Well, at least it's planned. Trappy, Mambo with Tracer. First of all, I don't know what you're talking about. Second of all, I wouldn't tell you even if I did. So grinder into what? Okay. Tested the Tango 2 in minus 30 degree weather. Works no problems. That's good to hear. I hope your fingers are fine, dude. Can we get a leak on the new TBS radio? No. Hey, I have an issue. I use CRSF Micro TX 2 915 with NanoRX. After less than a block, I lose the telemetry. Yeah, that probably means that you're in a very noisy environment, and so that means that you're going to lose telemetry pretty quickly. But if you feel it's not right, open up a support ticket, and we're going to be looking into it. I've had some fail safes. Adam Ennis FW. Open up a support ticket or contact Mike Chin on Facebook. Steele made a really good video about that will answer most questions about the tracer and why you want it. Okay. I haven't seen it. Can you make a 900 MHz 2.4 tracer crossfire D8 mode all-in-one magical toilet module? TBS brushless grinder. Oh, that would be awesome. Right now, we'll order from GetFPV. The package shipped this week. Well, I don't know what you're gonna order. If GetFPV has stock, then it will ship this week. I mean, GetFPV ships immediately. But to make sure that what you want to order is in stock first. I flash my Tango 2 firmware every day as I got told it'd make latency fast and nice and fresh. Clears the RAM. Yeah, Rice. That's how it works. Steele's video has made everyone deem CRSF slow as balls. You need to drop that guy. Okay. Maybe we can talk about that for a second. So, I mean, obviously, if you're on the skill level of Steele, you're going to feel a difference. Personally, I barely feel a difference between 50 hertz and 150 hertz. I do feel a difference between CRSF shot and no CRSF shot. So, but the frame rate itself isn't really doing too much for me. Like, my hand movements are so slow that whether 50 or 150 hertz, it's not going to make too much of a difference. So, that's just me. So, tracer, crossfire, I prefer crossfire because it has more range. So it's more safety, right? But if you're a racer, then obviously you're going to want the maximum latency or minimum latency. Should I keep holding off on talking about the API? I don't know. Have you been testing it, Israel? What about OSD from the VTX on the Fusion via Wi-Fi? That's currently working in alpha. When can we expect longer Mavlink telemetry range on Crossfire? There was a bug in 4.0 something that stopped it. You should be able to get most of the telemetry back. Like, I went 50 km, which is like 30 miles, and still had GPS and telemetry. My serial number isn't working with the coupon code. This Crossfire has to be no. Explosive fruits. So you go into the agent, you plug it in, you make sure that the little light on the top right is green. If it doesn't turn green, what you can try to do is disconnect, delete it from your agent, and then plug in again. Honestly, is it worth switching to tracer when you have CRSF shot? In my opinion, no. Okay, and I have every incentive to tell you otherwise. But in my opinion, if you have Crossfire, for me, there's no need. Especially if you're like the kind of like flying that I do, like up mountains, down mountains. Crossfire's been working fine until now. And it will continue to work fine. That's what I'm saying. 4.08 is showing beta for me. Yeah, that's the one you want. Tracer going to 2 watts. No. Is it? Whoa. I'm behind on shit. Hang on. Holy fuck. Jared Packover. Yeah, I was on 4.06. Yeah, get off 4.06. There's something weird going on 4.06. We actually removed that firmware. Has Trappy leaked anything yet? No. Seawood, yeah, that's a good analogy. Clawhammer versus ball pin, both get the job done. Yeah. Get FPV at stock for about 6 hours. Steel is built just different, dude. So just to give you an idea about how good Steel is. In 2015, we went to the Drone Nationals, and Steel has never raced before in his life. And hey, what's the new wing behind you? Nice try. So anyway, we were in 2015. We went to this thing called the Drone Nationals 2015, which most attribute to the start of FPV racing, right? It was the first race ever held in like an international format. Steele has never raced before. He shows up with a quad he hadn't even built yet. So he builds a new quad, shows up there, and he is 6 seconds ahead of everybody else on a 24-second lap. He had 18 seconds, and everybody else, like the second spot was 24 seconds. Throughout the day, obviously other people caught up, and he actually didn't win that race. However, the talent you need to have... Oh shit, it's kind of loud in here, right? The talent shows on the first lap. So, first lap, everybody else on the first lap. That's where you see like the talent. And then the sweat and tears comes in when you like practice. You overcome your lack of talent and you become a better pilot. But the talent that Steele has, and that's pretty much like where if we give him something like the Tracer, where he's gonna have faster lap times or faster, lower latency, he's gonna be able to do a lot more with it. That's just my observation from it, right? Steele was also in the first episode of DRL, and I talked to one of the founders of DRL. And I'm not going to name any of the other pilots that were there, but all of the other pilots did not have that kind of control on what was essentially a completely new quad, right? So, yeah. So if Steele says it makes him fly much better, it doesn't necessarily mean that it makes anybody else fly much better. That's what I'm saying, right? So you have to decide whether you want to spend the extra money or whether you want to wait and maybe have your friend buy one or whatever. For me personally, I've tried everything. I've tried all the different firmwares. I've tried like the whole progression of CRSF V1, V2, CRSF shot, Tracer, Tracer on different frame rates, all of this stuff. And I can honestly say the only difference that I feel is between CRSF shot and no CRSF shot on the same update rate. That's the only thing I feel. Because that actually corrects your variable latency. So that's kind of like the thing, analog versus DJI digital, right? Yeah. Looks like Steele is going to put epilepsy warning in all of his videos. Oh, yeah. With the 25% discount for CRSF owners, it was a no-brainer. Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, thanks for your support, for supporting us through all the years and putting my future kids through college, I guess. What do you think about Sharkbite? Oh, I'm excited about Sharkbite. DJI V2 coming out. I haven't heard anything about it. DJI just released a new quad, like a new Mavic Mini or whatever it's called. Pretty sweet. 10K range. It's fucking retarded, man. If Tracer will overcome video in each case, it's way to go. And if you will overcome video by 20 or 200%, don't care. Well, Michel, here's the thing. Overcoming video is not everything, right? So if you are diving down mountains and you end up like going behind something, even though you do not have video, you still have memory of what your quad's position was, and Crossfire will allow you to get out of it. Tracer is going to have issues on that. That's just how it's going to, like, that's just physics. So less penetration is a big deal that you should consider. Like if you're a really sketchy freestyle artist or pilot that dives buildings sometimes on the wrong side, stick with Crossfire. You have more reliability. Before I purchase Tracer, can you promise that there will be no Tracer V2 or CRSF V3 for a while? No promises, dude. There's none in the works. Yeah. No DJI V2. It's a bullshit rumor. From what I heard, yeah. Mini 2 looks really solid. Yeah, man. I just saw the email. I haven't really looked into it. Trappy did still get a higher wattage tracer. He sure did. Bardwell mentioned on stream the V2 goggles are coming. DJI continued their FPV head units. Okay, I don't know. I can't wait to use Tracer. Don't Fat Shark have a leapfrog the spec of DJI to stay relevant? I don't think anybody can leapfrog DJI. How long will the discount be available? Until end of this week. Fat Shark can't beat DJI spec ever. Okay, that's an opinion. Xfire has saved me on that front so many times. Fly behind or side of a mountain, lose video, but remember where my quad was and I'm able to punch out. Yeah. So, for this kind of flying, it is technically considered long range, and Tracer is, like any 2.4 system, in my opinion, is not a long range system. Yeah, you can go to range, right? So, maybe let's talk about that for a quick minute. Because everybody's surprised that Tracer can go... We're rating it to 25Ks. It can go further, but whatever. Everybody's surprised about that. That is the range that we fly with Crossfire on 10 milliwatts. Okay? So, 10 milliwatts, every firmware that we release needs to get flown out to that distance. So, 25Ks is not a lot for like a manufacturer rating, right? Because that is like the maximum that it can go. We rate Crossfire to 100 kilometers. It's like 60 miles. But that's nowhere near the end of the system. I'm pretty sure you could do 200, maybe 250 miles on it. What was the name of the new plane? We haven't actually made... Oh, hang on a second. I don't know what you're talking about. Are we expecting whoop boards with Tracer RX? Okay, here's my honest opinion on it. It's a $30 receiver, and the whoop boards are $30 with an XM Plus on it. And XM Plus is more than enough. Plus now they have like this open source, high frequency, low latency update rate. For whoops and for this kind of size, you don't really need that kind of performance. That's just my opinion. In addition to that, soldering on Tracer RX and using just one antenna, or using the lighter, like the FPC antennas that we sell, you're not gonna like lose a lot of weight for it, unless you're like really like brushed motor whoop. But in that case, 250 hertz is like higher update rate than your motors. 99% of you aren't going over a kilometer. No worries. Yeah, okay. That's, of course, that's another point. But I'm just saying, like, a manufacturer rating of the Crossfire is like in hundreds of kilometers, and it goes as far as the Tracer does on 10 milliwatts. And you can see how many people are struggling in terms of range on the Crossfire, right? So you have to make like a reasonable deductions of like bad installations, noisy environment, all of that, you know. Like when you cut through the bullshit of the manufactured specs, which unfortunately is a game that we have to play, then I can't get 4 miles with Crossfire. There you go. That's exactly my point, right? So let's assume for a second that Crossfire goes for 100 kilometers and Tracer goes for 25. So that's a 4 times deduction range. So Mr. I don't know, random letters and numbers can't get 4 miles on Crossfire, so he's not going to be able to get 1 mile on Tracer, maybe. Right? So you have to you have to differentiate. What I'm trying to say is you have to differentiate between numbers that you are going to see in adverse environments with adverse installations with crashes on your rig compared to a complete ideal test case scenario. All right, does that make sense? Is everybody going to misquote me and tell them we don't do long range? Hey buddy, nice haircut. Thank you, man. Did it myself. Shark bite whoop board. I don't know. 2021 TBS Alps road trip. Oh, dude, I would be looking forward to that. Fuck, man. I'd love to see a TBS endorsed competition. First push Crossfire to 200K and back wins. Well, there's still a competition to fly up one mountain, use multi-bind, and then hand over and then fly down the other mountain. So if you guys want to do that. Can you release a mini linear grid antenna? 5.8 for us tracker guys. Go to lcom.com. L-com.com. They sell pretty decent grid antennas. I'm really pleased at TBS Tracer, but my fleet is all CRSF. Since my CRSF module, I'm now inclined to stay with CRSF. Yeah, dude. Personally, I would stay with Crossfire. Do not mix up CRSF and Crossfire. Okay, CRSF is the protocol. Crossfire is the product. It's I don't... It's some people are acting like we're trying to force them to upgrade. Nobody ever said you have to upgrade. We're just providing an additional option in case you don't want to get Crossfire. That's what the Tracer was for. Fatchart have grown the FPV market to a size where it became economically viable for a bigger player to take over. Drone Racer says. I don't think it was just Fatchart, but I think Fatchart grew with the FPV market. Also, noise floor for 2.4 is likely going to be higher than 915. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can absolutely confirm that right now. When we're comparing here in our office, if we don't use RF, shielded, if we don't have a shielded environment, I mean, the office is pretty bad, but whatever, you get my point. Technical question. Does Tracer use the FLRC modem in the Semtech chip as opposed to the LoRa modem in order to achieve the lower latency? We don't talk about what we use. So we are just saying we are not using LoRa. What we use, you can figure it out and then you can clone it. Or you can actually just not give a fuck and it's going to be what we're going to use. I know that there's tracers en route to our competitors. And they're going to take it apart and they're going to maybe figure out what we used and then they're going to clone it. Just like they have done with Crossfire, just like they have done with everything else. Just wait. They'll tell you what we used. Whoa. To me, talking about technology that's used is fucking boring. What you get out of it is the cool thing. Right? When MP3 players first came out, to me, or to the nerds, yeah, it was great. Oh, there's an MP3 player. But then, the iPod revolutionized music through MP3. And nobody really cared whether it was MP3 or not. So I want to be the iPod guy, not the, I can do MP3 guy, right? Did you bid a lot of cash on the US elections? Okay. I won so much money yesterday. I made so much money yesterday. I completely, I felt bad. Oh man, fucking stock market is a rigged game. Uh, I, I gotta quit. I gotta quit doing this fucking TBS thing. So I'm obviously I don't like to talk about numbers, but I made more money on the stock market yesterday than I did in TBS in the last 2 years. So just to give you an idea, it just drives me nuts because it was so obvious too. Like everybody was saying the market's gonna crash, so that means it's gonna go up. Fucking YOLO that shit. Oh man. Um, Animal says 99% don't go far, but what about is that fly close but behind some schools, down hills or in bando buttholes or crack whatever. Um, okay, I don't see a question, so I can't answer it. What would give the best range on ground vehicle? Crossfire. Crossfire. Best if okay, if best range, Crossfire. Best latency, Tracer. Holy shit, Trappy, you shipped my socks already. Yeah, dude. It's like I'm working in the background. What do you think of having two RX on a drone? One is Tracer and whoa, that opens up a whole can of worms. Um, I'm hesitant to talk about it because it's a very fundamental issue that others might want to try and solve. Um, Jimmy Max says it's not Laura, they're using Tracy. Yeah, Tracy is being used. You should write some fuck yous to competition for a laugh. What's the lore behind the Tracer name? Tracer is just it's the Tracer rounds, right? So you have Crossfire, which is like people shooting at each other, and then you have Tracer, which is I guess kind of like the same war theme. Um, Tracer uses Wi-Fi signal. Maybe it does. Who knows? I have suppliers in Hong Kong. Need to visit them after Corona shit. Will it be possible to meet you in Hong Kong office? Yeah, sure. Simon Saucy says, "Quit while you're ahead." Oh no, dude. I gotta look at the. Hang on, I gotta look at the futures. Yeah, they're up 2%. Oh man, looks like I'm gonna retire in 2 hours. Trappy doesn't want a chip swinging contest. It's not the size of your chip that matters, but it's what you do with it. Oh, absolutely. Trappy, short stream. Also Trappy, 40 minutes in. Yeah, man, you guys are not going to let me go. Oh, man. Who named it Tracer? Um, I think I did. I think somebody came up with Tracer Fire as a name because we had Crossfire, and then you just go look for synonyms or like similar words, and then they came up with Tracer Fire, and then I was like, well, why don't we just call it Tracer because it's fast? So Crossfire, longer name, Tracer, fast. You're making out good tonight. Yeah, man. So if anybody's interested, I put money into a TQQQ, which is triple Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq is up 2%. That means I'm up 6%. But this is not financial advice. Don't lose money on the stock market. I'm just a fucking degenerate gambler. But I sold everything in August, late August, and And yesterday and like the day before yesterday, like I only invest when I'm pissed off at like the stupidity of the market. So when everything sold off pre-election, I was like, "Fuck you, assholes! You already know who's gonna win anyway. Fucking Wall Street people already coined that shit." So that's why. Anyway, I don't really like to talk about like, stock stuff. It's just gambling. Like if you're gonna be honest about it, it's just gambling. I ordered some stuff yesterday and it's already in country. You guys are on it. Yeah, dude, we're shipping a lot faster. When will Tracer RXs be available? Soon, man. Well, I mean they're shipping out at all times at the moment. Dude, the socks have separate toes so I can wear them with my sandals. No. TBS financial courses. Yeah, so the reason why I got out in August is because there was news about SoftBank propping up the market artificially. And like if you look at like for example the Nasdaq at the end of August, it did like this whoop thing, and I just sold into that. Like I sold about like 30% every day for 3 or 4 days. Can we get more minimalistic TBS shirts? Oh, you mean just like maybe it's just like a little. I would dig that. Yeah. Actually, I don't like this. This is too loud. NPM question. Just bought one. Do I need to update it for anything special? No, it comes fully updated. I got some trading advice for you, Trappy. Buy AMD. I got some trading advice for you, dude. Do not buy millennial stocks. AMD, Neo, Work. Work was the only one that I dabbled in. But like they're all like these are all like the Robin Hood morons that are putting money into this, in my opinion. AMD is a really solid company. I fucking love the company, but I would never like same for Tesla. I love Tesla. I would never buy Tesla stock. And I'm going to be able to say I told you so eventually, and you know it. I'm a buy and hold kind of guy, usually. But not, I mean, in this market, you got to be active about it, right? All right, let's get away from stocks. I don't want to be talking about stocks. If you want to be talking about stocks with us, we have a FEV stocks group on WhatsApp, so just DM me. And we'll invite you in there, and we share our positions, what we're trading in, and we have a grand old time. But um, uh, interesting to know. But they're crushing it right now. Oh, dude, absolutely. Tesla's crushing it. AMD is crushing it, but they are way, way, way oversold, or overbought, or whatever you want to call it. And they're basically just propped up by like leverage trading. I would love a TBS winter jacket. Oh man, they're a pain to ship. Is it possible to connect two Nano Crossfire RX together to create a diversity? It's in the works. It's in the works. When is 1 watt coming out for Tracer? I don't know what you're talking about. There is a workaround to updating my module with a broken USB port. Wait a bit. If you have Wi-Fi built in, wait a bit. Trap, can you quickly explain how the new VTX control from the Fusion works now? We connect through smart audio instead of CRSF. Both works. I'm still waiting for my Beanie Babies too to pay out. Trappy, as summer is coming soon to Australia, will we be bringing out TBS Speedos? No. Buy TBS stock. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't want to go public. It's such a toxic environment. Like, I'm the kind of like don't hate the player, hate the game kind of dude, and I fucking hate the game. Trappy's gonna get hundreds of DMs. Yeah, well, I'm fine with that. Just send me your mobile phone number. I'm gonna add you to the group. The more the merrier. I need to skin the plugs into the tango and heats your hands. Oh, Abdur, coming to Dubai. Currently, we're not allowed to travel, so it's gonna be difficult this year. Trappy has no poker face. Oh, dude, I have the best poker face if I want to. There's not been a single accidental leak on the TBS lounge. That's all I can tell you. Let's go. Yeah, I got Wi-Fi working on my module. Cheers. Yeah, explosive. So explosive fruits. It's gonna take a while, but then you're gonna be able to update through Wi-Fi. Will FR Sky RX antenna work with tracer? Yes. Yes. I don't know what the diameter is, but it's a 2.4 system, so 2.4 antennas work on 2.4. It's a source to a 5-inch. Yes, it's an ultralight 5-inch racing frame. Can you ship mini FPV car to Russia? Car contains small LiPo. So, I don't think they would find that LiPo between you and me. All right, cool. So, I said it was going to be short. We're at 1 hour, and I've talked for 1 hour. Oh, Ruben A. Ahmed is asking about, would you explain the range? Explain the range of what? Oh, not Ruben. Rabin, sorry. I hope I didn't butcher that name. Recap. We got TBS socks on the website right now. They ship within 10 minutes apparently. And we have source to 5-inch frame, 5-inch racing frames at $17. Trappy, when's the last time you ate chicken McNuggets? I don't eat chicken McNuggets. We have chicken wings here at McDonald's, and they're like they're the good kind. So yeah, drink some water after this. Oh, dude, I'm gonna chug a whole bucket of water after this. So was that plane you were talking about wing or a V-tail? I talked about a lot of planes. The plane that I last flew was a V-tail, but that was like the ZOHD Dart. All right, I'm gonna call it a day, guys. 2.4 gigahertz VTX. Not sure. There's like one of these things that it has been having constipation here in our project timeline. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for participating. I hope we're gonna be back with Wayne pretty soon. He's gonna get his Rona test tomorrow, I hope, and then we'll know. And yeah, good night, everybody. See ya.